Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today from NBC News, January 6th committee plans to vote on subpoena for Trump, sources say. The subpoena would come more than a year since the committee began investigating the insurrection, and as we know, ladies and gentlemen, here on the BuzWeaver channel, we take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the confusion, we take the tumult, and make it as simple as possible. This investigation was simply to perpetuate the dark cloud over President Trump, in the hopes that, well, one, people would hate him as much as they do, as well as to stop him from being able to run in 2024. As you guys know, there was the warrant on his resort there in Mar-a-Lago, which ended up just being a complete disaster and complete blowback for the FBI and the Democrats, yet they continue marching forward. The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol plans to vote to subpoena former President Donald Trump. Sources familiar with the committee's plans told NBC News. You know how much we like sources familiar with the plan, or individuals who know the mind of, and of course, the anonymous whistleblowers from time to time. Members on the panel, which held what was expected to be its final hearing before the midterm elections Thursday, had previously said that they were still considering seeking an interview with Trump or former Vice President Mike Pence. So here they are, down to the wire, trying to decide, trying to perpetuate this dog and pony show to the last minute, the constant carrot on the stick, leading the Trump detractors, leading all those who despise Trump, those who say that they should love Trump's hate, not recognizing their own hate, of course. They perpetuated this. They continued this. They want everyone to be focused on this, while it should be clear to everyone, based upon what happened with Liz Cheney's election, on her special election where she was completely decimated, that people aren't interested in this nonsense anymore. Because we already know, we go back into the BuzWeaver archives and we see here from Reuters, August the 20th, 2021, exclusive. FBI finds scant evidence U.S. Capitol attack was coordinated. So there was no coordinated effort. You had a group of people. First, you had those that were at the ellipse listening to President Trump's speech where he was telling everyone to be peaceful in the speech itself, as well as some tweets that he released. And then, of course, you had individuals that were kind of away from the ellipse, away from that area, and in and around the Capitol, where they just kind of coordinated and just made that sudden mob move, if nothing else. And, of course, these same groups of people that make up the Senate, acquits Trump for inciting Capitol riot, even as bipartisan majority votes to convict. Now, you see how they use the language here to say they vote to convict, although it didn't happen. They did not impeach him. That's the same language you're seeing here, because they waited till the last minute. They waited till Thursday, had previously said they would still consider seeking an interview with Trump or former Vice President Mike Pence. So they're trying to go for one or the other. They're absolutely reaching. They're just absolutely reaching here, ladies and gentlemen, throwing to see what can stick on the wall. A subpoena would come more than a year since the committee began investigating the insurrection, and despite multiple members of Congress previously acknowledging that it was unlikely Trump would comply. That's right. And not only that, there has never been a sitting president or a former president that has ever been indicted. Now, subpoena is a different story, and this is probably just their last-ditch effort to do anything to manipulate the man. And it's really, again, to make him look bad, to paint a dark cloud over him, to prevent him, to intimidate him, to antagonize him. And think about that for a minute. What is it the Democrats are always saying about threats to democracy? And then, of course, we had the whole intimidation by Joe Biden telling companies and businesses and industries and employees if they didn't get vaccinated, they would be fined. And what was it that we had always talked about? It wasn't enforceable. And then Jen Psaki came out, 8-9 months later and said, no, it isn't enforceable. It's absolutely absurd, the levels they reach. Still, subpoenaing the former president had been under consideration for a while and has been an active topic of discussion for committee members. What that means is they're putting their fingers to the wind to see what the public opinion would be, or what the blowback would be, what they could either see as a win or a loss. And of course, now they need every win they can get, and they're not winning. On his way to the hearing, Chairman Benny Thompson, Democrat Mississippi, told reporters the panel had not yet ruled out a subpoena for Trump. He said at the start of the hearing that the committee would take a vote based on new evidence. It's always new evidence. It's always new evidence, constantly flowing evidence, and it's going on right now as I record this video for you guys. How is it that this is continuing to go on? What progress is being made? So now they're saying they want to get a subpoena, which, of course, just like the warrant there in Mar-a-Lago, turned up very little, and nothing or very little happened to President Trump outside of just, again, trying to embarrass him, trying to make him look bad, trying to get him to perhaps quit, probably trying to get his circle of people around him to encourage him not to run, this, that, and the other. And now we have the January 6th committee plans to vote on a subpoena for Trump. And basically what they've been doing for the last week is trying to get feelers, trying to probe, trying to figure out whether or not this would be an appropriate move for them to make. Because, of course, they don't want any more blowback than they already have, and they already gotten a lot. The Liz Cheney being in that special election and getting blown away should have been an indicator to them that this January 6th committee is a dog and pony show. People aren't buying it. People aren't interested in it. They're sick of it, actually. They're fatigued by the whole idea, not to mention the fact that they have drug it out for so long, and there is clear, concise information from the FBI, as well as from the Senate themselves, from CNBC, from the mainstream legacy media, that President Trump had no involvement whatsoever, despite the continuing guilt by association that these people continue to engage in. It's absolutely shameful. Thank you to all you guys on Rumble, BitChute, DTube, and Odyssey for your guys' continued support. I appreciate it now. Getting a lot of activity on new tech. Thank you so much. And, of course, all my loyal subscribers here on YouTube. You guys have been terrific, helping me out a great deal, particularly now in these last 2 weeks as we lead up to the midterms, as many videos have been affected, and you guys have been amazing. So the likes, the shares, and the comments all help. I appreciate that. Now, appearing there on the screen would be the channel icon. For those who haven't subscribed, you guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the Friday Vlog.